There's something really important happening right now with this whole Epstein story surrounding Donald Trump. Many outlets, kind of in the mainstream, are not covering it. That's exactly why we're going to talk about it here. And it's so important that you really need to know about it. So, of course, we know about this whole Epstein story that's been hitting the administration like a bomb in the past couple of weeks. Donald Trump's relationship with Epstein is under the microscope, especially with this new reporting that we got from the Wall Street Journal just a few days ago, this bombshell that we learned Donald Trump sent Epstein a 50th birthday card in 2003. It included some very strange messages that he himself wrote inside the card. It was written in a outline, a drawing that he made of a naked woman, and it includes weird lines. It was a third-person conversation between him and Jeffrey Epstein, and it includes things like, "There must be more to life than having everything." Yes, there is. I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey says, "Nor will I, since I also know what it is." Donald says, "We have certain things in common, Jeffrey." I would love to know what Donald Trump has in common with Epstein. Yes, we do, come to think of it. Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. A pal is a wonderful thing, said Donald. Happy birthday. And may every day be another wonderful secret. So this is explosive. And it left the American people asking, like, what does Donald Trump mean by we have things in common or enigmas never age? Like, what does this all mean? So this has been catastrophic for Donald Trump and his administration. And the important thing that they're doing right now is they're trying to distract the American people. And it's so obvious. The MAGA followers are falling for it right now. Their attention span, especially with things like this, might be likened to that of a goldfish. They're falling for it, and Donald Trump, in this panic state, is trying to distract the American people. And let me break down how. Tulsi Gabbard just yesterday posted this long thread on Twitter where she accused Barack Obama and other Democrats of engaging in treasonous behavior. She's trying to claim in this thread that she at the DNI has uncovered evidence that Obama and his administration essentially faked the Russia investigation back in 2016 to undermine Donald Trump. This dropped the day after the Wall Street Journal article came out. So obviously the Trump administration is in full-blown panic and they're trying to distract the American people, and MAGA is falling for it. They got their marching orders from Donald Trump. We're not going to. So let's just take a quick read of what Tulsi Gabbard said, along with things that Donald Trump has posted. So she posted this thread on Twitter. Americans will finally learn the truth about how in 2016 intelligence was politicized and weaponized by the most powerful people in the Obama admin to lay the groundwork for what was essentially a years-long coup attempt against Donald Trump, subverting the will of the American people. I always find it funny when Republicans try to claim that Democrats attempted to subvert the will of the American people when they support Trump, who engaged in January 6th, tried to overturn an election he didn't win. But I digress. She also posted this graphic saying, "Creation of the Russia hoax." I mean, it's the most sensationalized piece of crap you've ever seen, but I digress. Let's continue. She followed it up with, "For months preceding the 2016 election, the intelligence community shared a consensus view that Russia lacked the intent and capability to hack U.S. elections, but weeks after Trump's win in 2016, everything changed." She included these different citations, I guess, from the DHS, other reports, the DNI as well, DNI Clapper at the time, saying, "We assessed that foreign adversaries did not use cyber attacks on election infrastructure," things of that nature. On December 8th, 2016, IC officials prepared an assessment for the president's daily brief, finding that Russia did not impact recent U.S. election results by conducting cyber attacks. Before it could reach the president, it was abruptly pulled based on new guidance. The next day, top national security officials, including FBI Director James Comey, CIA Director John Brennan, and DNI James Clapper, gathered at the Obama White House to discuss Russia. Obama directed the IC to create a new intelligence assessment that detailed Russia election meddling, even though it would contradict multiple intelligence assessments released over the previous months. This is completely false. I'm going to break that down in just a second, but we unfortunately have to get through what Tulsi Gabbard is claiming in order to debunk it. Obama officials immediately leaned on their allies in the media to advance their falsehoods. So Tulsi Gabbard is alleging that not only did Obama and Democrats in the White House engage in a coup that is treasonous, but also there's this major conspiracy with the media. Okay, so they're just completely crazy. I mean, we know that, but doubling down on that insanity. On January 6, 2017, just days before Trump took office, DNI Clapper unveiled the Obama-directed politicized assessment, a gross weaponization of intelligence that laid the groundwork for a years-long coup attempt to subvert Trump's presidency. According to whistleblower emails shared with us, we knew Clapper and Brennan used the baseless Steele dossier as a source to push the false narrative. That is one email, I guess, that they have from a whistleblower. And again, we'll talk about how that's false. These documents detail a treasonous conspiracy by officials at the highest levels of the Obama White House to subvert the will of the American people and betray Trump. The betrayal concerns every American, yada, yada, yada. Enough from Tulsi Gabbard. Look, I'm tired of reading it. I'm sure you're tired of hearing me reading it because she is just so annoying. But nonetheless, this is complete crap. Number one. And number two, it's obviously the distraction. This is the distraction that Donald Trump has been begging for in his administration. And we know it's false. And I responded to a MAGA influencer who published these documents saying, bombshell, she just declassified an Obama-era swath of documents where they found Russia did not impact the election through cyber activities. And as I pointed out in my reply, nobody is claiming that Russia impacted vote results, as these documents point out, by hacking into election infrastructure. Tulsi Gabbard is saying, like, oh, they created this hoax. They said that Russia hacked into our infrastructure. That was never the claim. The claim has always been that Russia utilized social media and bot farms to spread misinformation in favor of Trump. There's the Mueller report and a bipartisan Senate intel report, which was controlled by Republicans, and Marco Rubio was part of that is over 1,000 pages long, that details their interference and concludes that Russia did in fact interfere in the election. And both of these things that I mentioned are verifiable. Here's an article that the Senate panel finds that Russia interfered in the 2016 election. The Trump campaign's interactions with Russia intel services during 2016 posed a grave counterintelligence threat. A Senate panel concluded Tuesday as it detailed how associates of Donald Trump had regular contact with Russians and expected the benefit from the Kremlin. The nearly 1,000-page report, the fifth and final one from the Republican-led Senate Intel Committee, details how Russia launched an aggressive effort to interfere in the election on Trump's behalf. This was a report published by Republicans, by a committee led by Republicans, on the committee were members of the Trump administration who are currently serving. It's over 1,000 pages long, but of course, these MAGA influencers and Tulsi Gabbard have not read that report. Also, Tulsi Gabbard is calling that investigation completely pointless, but it produced 37 different indictments, 7 guilty pleas, compelling evidence that the president obstructed justice on multiple occasions. He also uncovered, and Mueller, that is, uncovered and referred 14 criminal matters to other components of the Department of Justice. So this claim from Tulsi Gabbard that it was treasonous, that there was some cover-up, is complete crap. Nobody's claiming that Russia interfered by changing vote totals, but what they did do was use bot farms, social media, and more to spread misinformation. That's the conclusion of the U.S. intel community that was under Donald Trump, by the way. That's the conclusion of the Senate intel panel as well, under Donald Trump as well, by the way. So this whole crap, this rant that she's going on, claiming that Obama engaged in treason, is just a cover-up. They are trying to distract the American people. They know that whatever they're doing here, this whole thread by Tulsi Gabbard, is total BS, because if you read the reports that I just mentioned, it talks about how this is BS, and they're arguing with a claim that we Democrats are not making about 2016. And of course, Trump is doing it too, amplifying Tulsi Gabbard on Fox News last night, talking about this, amplifying Sean Hannity, who talked about Tulsi Gabbard's interview on Fox News. And of course, he's trying to do everything he can to get people to stop talking about his new lawsuit against the Wall Street Journal, which inevitably he's going to back out on, to stop talking about Epstein, to stop talking about the fact that he has not released the Epstein files. It's all he wants to do. And that's exactly why I'm covering this story. I know that this was a little tedious in the details with Tulsi Gabbard going on this huge rant, but nonetheless, this is a very, very important story. I have to stress that to you. We are seeing what the Republicans are trying to do to get the MAGA base back on their side, and it's talk about the Russia investigation, which always gets them going. That's what Donald Trump is doing. He's trying to distract the American people. So please spread this message all over the internet with your friends, family, and loved ones. We have to get the word out there. I will leave the video there. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. Make sure to subscribe down below. It goes an incredibly long way. Drop a like on the video, comment. Let me know what you think about this story. And as I always say, I greatly appreciate you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.